Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Juan Cristales here, man. We are doing some ground up new construction duplexes in Texas. This is the one that we're going to be doing at 401 Martin Luther King. This is a corner lot. If you're interested in learning how to do this stuff, man, I'm telling you, it's a lot easier than banging your head up against the wall trying to do fix and flips that just don't have the margins that you hope that they have once you go to the closing table when you sell it. It's not as difficult as like trying to find cash flowing assets when it comes to like finding single family rental property that you can add to your portfolio. Build your own. I know there's not a lot of people out there teaching it, and that's what I am trying to do here, is just create a community of people who want to learn how to do new construction. Specifically, what we're doing is going to be duplexes, and we're doing a lot of these here in Texas. So check this out. Now, we have a couple of pieces of things that I wanted to show you here. These are going to be some studs. So you can see here, these are a little bit bigger on the bottom, and these ones here are going to be a little bit thinner. So these are going to be the 2x4 studs, and these are going to be the 2x6 studs. What's the difference? What's a stud, and why does this matter to me, Juan? So check this out. We essentially what we do is, well, at least the framers do, they'll come out and they put this base plate. This is what this one is here. This is the base plate, and then you have a top plate here, okay? This wall is essentially lying on the ground. They put it together, and then they lift it up and, stand it up. Yes, they're going to try to stand this whole thing up all up at once. And then basically what happens then is that now we have, the wall stood up, and then we have a 9-foot ceilings. So they make 8-foot studs, and they make different types of dimensions, but the point I want you guys to understand is that for the purposes of what we're doing, it's going to be just 9 foot. 9 foot, I feel, gives you that bigger open air feel of a house because these are going to be, about 1,400 square feet each side. And so what happens is like it feels cramped if you make the ceilings low, the rooms are kind of a little bit smaller, and everything else is smaller. It just feels really cramped. But whenever you take, and some of the other ones that we've done, they're like 1,200 square feet. When you make the inside with a 9-foot ceiling, it feels so much bigger, and that's really what you're going for, and it does help you on the appraisal. So check this out. Let me do a little bit of math here to kind of just explain it to you guys so you understand better what I'm talking about. So what the framing guys are going to ask you to do is they're going to ask you to order studs. Now, we have this already on the material takeoff. It's just going to show up. They know how to deal with it, but you should know a little bit about this stuff anyways. So check this out here. We have this 104 and 5/8. These are 2x6. That's going to be for the firewall, and the 2x4s are going to be just for the regular walls. The reason why the wall is a 2x6 is because that's what we, talked with the architect about and the engineer about, and that's what we're going to do for the firewall. I can get into that way later. But the point I'm trying to make right now is the 104 and 5/8 inch and what that measurement really is and what it means. So let's check this out real quick. I already did the math here, but I just want to show you here real quick. Let's do the math on this for a 5/8 inch, because like on a metric number, like what is 5/8? So we're just going to do 5 divided by 8. And that is going to be 0.625, right? That's the decimal interpretation of 5 divided by 8. So then we're going to add the 104 inches. Okay, so now we have 104.625, which is the same thing as 104 and 5/8 inches. We're going to divide that by 12. And now we have a piece of wood that is 8.71875, right? That whatever that number is. That's the dimension of the actual wood, but we have 9-foot ceilings. So how is an 8.71875 piece of wood going to give us a 9-foot ceiling? So let me show you. So because that's the purpose of the stud, and why I'm bringing it up is that the stud is going to sit on top of this base plate, and this base plate is going to give it that extra additional 0.28 that it needs to give you the 9-foot ceilings, the true 9-foot ceilings. So whenever you're ordering lumber and these guys need studs, they say, hey, I need some 9-foot studs. I need more of them. And you're like, okay, I got to order some more 9-foot. You think, and this is the mistake that I made, is that I ordered actually 9-foot material. And the guy's like, hey man, these are 9 foot. I'm like, but that's what you asked for. He's like, yeah, but we ordered studs. They're different. I'm like, how? Like, it didn't make sense to me. But now, if someone has sat down and explained to me that this little extra dimension gets added right here, and that's the reason why they're a little bit shorter than 9 foot, that's why. So now check this out. This wall is going to be lifted up and is going to be put up, and we have it up right there actually. So now check this out. We have the anchor bolts. You can see them right here. They are basically going to be joining. Now these anchor bolts get put in when the concrete is nice and wet and just freshly poured. When the concrete is freshly poured, you put the you put the anchor bolts in, and then it dries together, and then it's just there permanently. And then there's like a little piece of a square um, thing that goes on top, and then the bolt goes on it. Okay, it's a square washer. So that's what holds the house together and just kind of keeps it, with like the high winds and stuff like that we get here in the States, to keep it from toppling over, whatever. But anyways, they also use some of these pieces of wood right here to kind of just hold the walls up while they're doing some other stuff. And it does take more material, guys. You're going to order more material than you think, and sometimes you're like, man, there's no way we could use that much material, but it gets used up, I promise you. There's a lot of stuff going on. So we have most of the exterior walls up. Some of the interior walls are in. We want the wastewater to be inside, and this is not a perfect science, guys. I'm telling you, it is most certainly not a perfect science. We do our best. There's always human error involved, and just sometimes, whether it's the architect, it's the foundation guys, or it's the framers, or somebody is going to be off by an inch or 2 inches or something like that. We just have to kind of roll with it and adjust it, okay? It's never going to be a perfect science, but that's part of the construction process. But we're starting new, which you're able to see everything from the very beginning, which is kind of nice. Okay, so here's another picture of the entrance. This little area here, the concrete is lower because this is going to be the little porch area. You don't want any, we get really high water or rain or something like that, you don't want that water going into the house. And so that's why they do it like that. All right, guys, so those are a bunch of great updates for this 401 MLK property. We got a lot of stuff going on. Tomorrow, we already ordered a lot of the roof framing material. This is just the wall framing that we're doing right now. The roof framing, which is going to be what holds up the roof, is going to be a whole nother separate thing that we're going to be talking about tomorrow. It's a different type of wood. We usually use, 2x8s, 2x10s, thicker, longer pieces of wood to just kind of support the roof as it goes in. So we'll be doing a little bit of that tomorrow. We'll see how the weather holds up. We got a lot of weather coming in the next few days on Monday, Tuesday, something like that. We'll see how it goes. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. That's all I got for you today.